Hello. I always have to cough. Second I turn on the mic. Perfect hairstyle for first stream in a while. Anyways, hello people of the interwebs. It's been a while. Before Christmas was the last stream, but I am still alive. We are still alive. We were kinda stressed with getting the new demo out and creating a new trailer and generally setting up things for the remaining production timeline. But now we're back on track. I mean, we never were not on tracks. That's... But yeah, I feel like we have more time now again to do, you know, streams and stuff. So I probably won't be able to commit to a fixated streaming schedule, but kinda I just do streams whenever I'm working on features that are streamable, so like once or twice a week, and hoping that that works out. To have like a more regular semi schedule. Oh, and our whole setup also kind of works. Actually, we'll be doing a little spoiler here for the demo, but bear with me. I still need to do the remaining announcements. So I kind of forgot. Well, I didn't forget, but I thought like I can also just do them while on stream. I think there's not really a reason not to, in the sense of being authentic. See, that's what being an indie dev really is like. Hanging out in streams and figuring out how to do posts on Instagram so people know that you're there. And sorry if my voice is a bit rough. I have no idea why, to be honest. I think I'm just not used to talking a lot anymore. See, that happens when I don't stream for a bit. So yeah, plan for today generally is, so we released a demo last week. If in case you haven't noticed, go to Steam and play it. And we do have to do a little cleanup. I have to set up the build pipeline so we can easily push to demo and not demo builds without thinking too much about it. So we can do patches for the demo, which will be a bit weird from the versioning, but I guess we'll figure that out. And then more exciting thing is I have to figure out a setup to test the whole meta game loop. So we did have a setup for like some kind of endless mode. Not sure, I don't think I'll be using that, but we kind of want to simulate the whole map, but more condensed with just the combat parts. So we can kind of test the distribution of rewards and builds and getting powers and modifiers and upgrades and stuff, and kind of being able to iterate that. So that's the goal for this week mostly. Yeah. But first I still have to do this Insta story. Yeah, in the meantime, hello there. How's everyone doing? What are you doing? What is even happening this year? It's already March. I feel like this is a lie. Time is just a weird soup. I can't find the posts I prepared. All right. So I guess I have to go to the Panta Rhei, Instagram. Oh no, and I have to get the link. Yeah, Instagram is, I don't know. Oh, and I didn't do a personal post as well. Oh well, we'll do that later. Or not at all. I don't know. I feel like I should do it anyways. There's a link in our community server, right? Posted at the announcement. So yeah, sorry if this isn't the most exciting content. But you've joined a Gamedev Coworking stream, so I guess what do you expect? um, Technically, what we're doing here is a little bit of a spoiler for the demo. It's kind of the secret second ending. So don't look too closely if you haven't played the demo yet. And if you have played the demo and didn't get to this part, then I guess play again. This is like the bottom part of Feast Shed. I guess I can just post it. And then... Alright. I probably forgot to do announcement somewhere else, but let's not be bothered by that. Let's do just one screen now. And go to feature. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is something that's, well, it's exciting to me, being the person who does most of the programming and also parts of the build pipeline, is, let's get rid of a few tabs here, is this thing, a preprocessor demo, and it's connected in our build pipeline, extra scripting defines. And so basically what we're trying to do is that we can do a build setup and define demo, and then certain things happen or don't happen in the build. And we don't have to kind of manually set most of those things up. And so we have certain things like this here, which, hello, I want to connect you. Yeah, we have a few things that are specifically for the demo, like it's a demo reward, and like the exit here is blocked. That's also like a specific demo thing. And we kind of just don't want those things to be there when we are using the demo configuration. So I created like a simple script that kind of sets those C# preprocessor, and then when it compiles, hopefully it plays. It just sets the game object active or not, depending on if we're in the demo or not. And yeah. And I think that is kind of everything that was still missing. Because all the other locations, we do have like a specific setup in the gate location, like the last location of the demo. Which kinda does the same. Checks if it's the demo, and if it's the demo, it sends the player back to to the main hub, because the demo ends at this point, and if it isn't the demo, it transitions the player to the next location, to the clearing location. And that's kinda everything that happens there. And I guess we should also use those bricks. Block accent. I guess let's also move those to the other demo things. And add a demo component. Oh, I guess we would have to rebake the lighting as well then. I guess we can just do that. Rendering lighting. If truth be told, I can just rebake the lighting here. So, the other to-dos that we have are to those were the notes from the last stream. Not quite up to date anymore. So, combat testing setup, or like combat meta testing setup, more or less. I am not doing the testing for this now because it's not super interesting. I guess we'll just push our changes for this, which looks like this then in my fork fork client. Sure, we did some changes to those things. Change the gate. And we updated the light. Is it done? Yeah, lighting is done. Sure. Feature, build, add. Preprocessor define for demo. Oh, and I'm not sure if that's like a change I did kinda to the last stream is getting rid of the lo-fi hip-hop background music. I think it's kinda unnecessary. Like if you're listening to a stream and you want music, you'll probably just do your own music. Or like you're probably doing something else anyways. Like if you want to listen to the music I'm listening to, guess you can find me on Discord and see my Spotify. I'm not sure how that works when you're also streaming, but it's not that exciting. Normally, I'm just listening to video game soundtrack music in my light coffee playlist. When I'm doing feature work. Okay, let's go back to develop and do a new feature branch, and let's call it combat testing. Now things are getting more complicated. So, and the second thing that we can, but probably not today, is charms. We had an idea and like an implementation already for charms. They're like passive abilities that you can unlock and or equip, which aren't in the demo. But yeah. So what we are trying to do now is taking the map. We did have a setup here as well. I guess I'll just copy the map really. And let's move it somewhere up here. Okay, let's get rid of a few things that we don't need. We don't need all of the fort fishes. So what I'm kinda aiming to do is simulate the distributions of rewards that we have in the normal map with the big locations, like with this shed here, but kind of only focus on the combat that's happening in between and the rewards roughly. 'Cause I can't really do, like, I don't want to spend too much time on creating a sophisticated testing setup. Mostly want to do as simple as possible. And I'm thinking if it actually pays off mm, to kind of rebuild the map here, but just with empty like placeholder locations. So we can kind of see on the main path, I kind of know how many fights you have. Or we just do like a linear setup. Oops. First of all, let's lock this. Because if we do, like, let's think about it this way. So you normally start in the estuary, and let's build it over here. And normally you get a power right at the beginning. And then you have like a combat encounter. Then you get like a power and a crop, or possibly two crops. And then you have like two combat encounters. And then you get to Feast Shed. And at Feast Shed you normally get like a crop or two and a bernstein. I guess let's test it like this for now. And then Fisher, going out of Fisher, you normally have like 2 combat encounters. And then what's happening then? Then you go to Sanctuary, where you have like a shop and a combat encounter, but like a mini boss kinda. And that's, I think, mostly what happens on the main path. You actually get 2 crops at Feashed. And I guess the goal of the distribution would be to have like a reward roughly after each encounter, after 2 encounters. There's like a starting sticker. Start. Okay, after that you go to the clearing. So there is not a fight, there's just a gate in between where you get another power and a crop. And then we didn't really build those yet. I guess let's just try modeling this for now, and then we can kind of see if we want to do other things. All right. I do vaguely remember that we had a setup for an endless mode. Guess we'll just keep the name. And I think it kinda worked as well. It was just, if I recall correctly, yeah, a bit. We had like an automated, yeah, setup for it. So if I am correct, this whole setup should still be mostly working. Okay, this just plays a timeline. And the timeline moves the left and also triggers the transition here. Request event transition main. No, not here. But map navigation scene module. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. It calls the main. Okay, yeah, I do kinda remember. Yeah, I think everything's still there. We won't be bothering with the whole elevator setup right now. We'll just bother with trying to enter the combat mode and seeing if it still works as previously. Here we'll use the endless. And technically this should maybe just work. Oh. Where is my game view? Hey, works in ultrawide as well. Let's just do 16 to 9. And continue. And let's see if that does anything. Ah, doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, we have a missing shader. Oh, and also the transition doesn't work. Okay. It kind of works like a normal roguelike setup. Like you have in Hades where you just choose left or right. I guess let's go for modifier. Yeah, but yeah, no, the transitions can't spawn, of course. And because the locations don't exist anymore, because we cleaned the old ones up. Next try. I guess we could technically. Let's try. Hey. Test with audio. If we have it already. Alright, so chrono attacks deal more damage. Yeah, I don't have any time. I'm really not used to playing on the keyboard anymore. I've only really tested the demo with gamepad. Alright. So I'm getting a modifier. I guess. Decelerate. This was power, this was modified. The icons aren't ideal yet. Well, you do be pretty slow. Oh. I'm always running out of resonance. First thing I'm getting once we have it implemented is something that recovers resonance faster. Shop or money? Don't have a lot of money, so I guess money. But this isn't really something we need to test, I guess. We do know that, you know, normal roguelite reward setups work. That's not something we need to validate, technically. There was a crafting bench. That's Bernstein. I don't quite remember what crafting benches did. Yeah. Oh. I always have low resonance. But it's not part of the UI right now. More money or time? Let's, I guess, go for money. No. The respawn happens so fast now. Oh, you don't really have time to react? That's a new change. Previously you had more time to react when falling down. Let's go to a crafting bench and see what happens. Oh. Success. It has parts of the new UI. Okay, this is kind of funny. Dismantle or upgrade. Does upgrading actually work? It does. Wow, I'm amazed. Does dismantling work? It does as well. Maybe that's actually enough for the power curve. Just being able to upgrade and dismantle. And maybe having modifiers with like different power levels. Then let's get another modifier. Wow. No. Okay. I think it goes until level 10. But yeah, part. Oh. I like the new wards that we have. Oh, quest log also still works. Hmm. Mm. Yeah, some of those combinations are still very much broken, I guess. Oh. Ha, you did it. Ha. Well, that actually kinda works. Interesting. That's not so bad for setup. But how does any of this work? Just draws them from here, from the rewards, like randomly. Hmm. Makes things a bit more complicated, because I don't even know why. Some of those things, like in the normal map, we have like some of those things distributed. Like hand offered, kinda. You know how we have specifically placed with Ada, like where you get the power upgrades, the first two in this case. And we have specifically placed where you get your Bernstein. And also specifically placed where the shop will be. And I'm unsure if this is the best setup for what we are trying to do. I think in an ideal world, or like if we want to follow the roguelite logic somewhat, you would kind of have to enter a location. Yeah, this is fee. And then either you already have like a mini map or something where you see the other locations and what kind of rewards there are, so you can plan ahead for that. Or you kind of enter a location and can somehow see what the rewards for neighboring locations are. And then we could semi-randomize, I like do a kind of similar logic to the endless mode right now, where we have like a distribution of rewards. We do kind of have had a logic. It's here. Kind of how we want to distribute the rewards in the crops, kinda, and who can drop them. We don't really do drops right now, but like that was an idea. Or do we want to have like specific places for them? Having specific places takes away some of the decision making, but emphasizes the exploration aspect, so you kind of know, start to learn the map and know where what is, and kind of plan your route with what you know about the locations in mind. But then we kind of would have to do. I'm not sure if that's a desirable loop for the meta decision making. Okay, really, we can't really expect players to kind of remember most of the map and where what is. I guess we could expect them to remember like general types of rewards. We have like time modifiers, like the crops as one and then ADA stations as the other. But that's kind of the same as it is right now. I mean, right now it doesn't feel like you're making decisions, because there literally aren't decisions. The demo is a linear map setup. You only have one way to go anyways. So you're not deciding between two rewards. Hmm. I guess I'll have to think more about that. For now, let's properly connect the endless mode for testing at least, and then deal with the rest of the more finky problems later. I guess I should also do more Insta stories. A bit late, but better late than never. Anyways. Enter floating farms, because that's what we're calling them. I mean, we are not doing like the whole elevator. We could just copy the other timeline. I am telling you, it's not worth it right now. Where is my player? Here. Oh, what are you doing here? Yeah, let's just place it here for now. That's the main elevator and the endless elevator. Alright. We should connect it to like some kind of in-game event at some point where you only unlock it after the gate, I guess. Maybe we'll patch it into the... Maybe we'll patch it into the demo as well. We have like some kind of endless mode. It just doesn't have an outpass yet. I'm not sure if it's worth it giving it an outpass as well, if we just use it for internal testing. Okay, but I do need a gamepad if I am to test this more efficiently. Um, so the idea is, and we do want to add like an endless mode anyways. So the idea is that like main path is over here. And combat mode is over here. I feel like powers are very skewed towards chrono abilities. Ah. Ha. Corner recovery is so slow though. But I guess it would be very OP otherwise. I do actually feel like that the distribution and this combat testing mode works pretty well. I'm just mostly not sure how to translate it to the like normal loop, like the main story mode. Ooh. Yeah. Hmm. The decision making here works pretty well. And it's not super innovative or anything, don't get me wrong. Ow, ow. I'm really still the old builds used. I'm really used to the old builds, so proper English here. But where we had like more resonance, they're really not dealing well with having less time to revert. Oh, Hello, hello, Allegra. Do you still know who I am? It's been too long. I'm fine. I don't know what's with my voice. I'm a bit coarse, but other than that, I'm doing well. Currently trying to, like, my main goal was setting up like a combat testing mode. Um, and then I kind of realized we already had that, and it kind of works. And now I'm just running through that and seeing what's it doing. 'Cause the main issue for us now is finding a way to kind of efficiently test the meta loop, like the whole game progression, the power ramp, so to say, per run, in like an efficient way, without having to run through the whole build, and also kind of balancing the whole crafting modifier thing. I do want to have Chrono Leech, I guess just on the Chrono attacks, so I get Chrono back. And I guess Rippling. I'm still not sure if Rippling is a good name for anything. We also have to work on communicating this whole crafting system a bit better. We don't really have a proper tutorial for that right now, except like one pop-up with an outdated GIF. But so basically, I think that works. And like what we have here is a very basic like classic roguelite setup. Like kind of choose the rewards and go left, right. Basically like Hades. Oh, thank you. Very nice. Yeah, I do think we did a pretty good job with the demo. It still has, like all things do, some issues, but it reflects the art style and like the overall vibes and combat pretty well. Puzzles are still missing. Puzzles didn't make it in there at all. And I'm really glad we managed to put the first cutscenes, like the 2D animated cutscenes in there. Really excited about them. Decelerate, I guess. You also kind of have to balance how people make builds with like the combination of powers and modifiers, like how the decision making there will work. So yeah, the problem right now is the problem is like we do have this testing setup. That's a very standard roguelite, choose your reward, left or right kind of thing. And this works well. I mean, we know that it works. It works in Hades and like most other simple roguelites. The problem is like our map normally doesn't work like this. We have like the bigger locations for exploration and like narrative things and quest lines, but we still need the players to do like the same kind of decisions, having a way to decide between rewards, like the path they are taking. Oh, goodbye, Allegra. Have a nice trip. Thanks for stopping by. And hopefully see you more often again. Planning to do streams again, like once or twice a week, but without a fixated schedule. Cause turns out being an indie dev doesn't go well with fixated schedules. Who would have thought? So the question really is, we have like our standard left, right, choose your reward setup. But then we also have like our fixated map with the fixated quest lines and like the exploration parts and a limited ways of translating this kind of game loop to the map we have. So ideally, I mean, we could be sneaky and just work the decisions into every reward. Like when you open a reward, you get a choice what you want to take. But this feels way less like a choice than it is here. Because here it's kind of you commit to a reward, then you have the combat, and then you get the reward. So you feel like you worked for it. You do the combat, you defeated the enemies, and then you get a reward. Like if we do it differently, you have like combat first, and then choice, and then reward. It doesn't really feel connected to being rewarded for a decision you made, or like a combat you did. Like practically, it doesn't change how it like mechanically it doesn't change anything, but it just feels different. And so really what I'm asking is where and when do we want players to make what kind of decisions? Like basically if they're here in Feast Garden and they have like when they enter the location, they have a choice going to the greenhouse or going to Feast Shed. That technically should be the moment where they decide on like the path they are taking and the rewards they will get, and then kind of commit to this path to get the rewards. So I guess we won't. I think we won't get past having some kind of minimap where you can see pretty well where what kind of reward is located. So you can kind of enter the realm of time and look at the minimap. Or maybe actually Ada can give you the minimap. I'm not sure if that's good. Like, I guess we should. Slowly we're running out of buttons, of interactions. So I guess ideally we would just put it in the pause screen. But there's already the quest log. Or like ideally we would have a tab in the inventory instead of having it. I mean, maybe we do kind of want to do tabs in the inventory anyways. So then how will this look like? So we will have like a map which looks kind of like this. Or similarly to this. With all the rewards that you have unlocked. Let me do a copy. Like this. And yeah, then we have this. Those don't really exist. So we have modifier and time and bernstein and coins. Rewards. And we have the main rewards. So we won't have combat in there. You won't have the fought fish in there. And you won't see locations that you haven't visited yet. I guess. Or I guess you won't see transitions that you haven't discovered yet or unlocked yet. So it might look something like this. Like let's imagine that graveyard just isn't discovered yet. And Fisha doesn't actually give that much. I don't know. Maybe you've unlocked 2 crops at the greenhouse. So idea now would be, and like in Fee's garden, you've tended like to 2 of them. And I guess in the beginning it's not a decision anyways. But like you see that there are powers. Then you can see that there's like a modifier in time at Fee's garden. Like a Bernstein and there's at Fee's shed and like modifiers here. That's like the rewards you can get. Oh, and I guess the entry also has a modifier. So what would happen if we have a minimap? So you would enter, you would pick up your power and your modifier. I guess you're not interested in the map yet. You go to Fee's garden, you pick up your power, you pick up your modifier. Like due to the layout of Fee's garden. I guess we can stop this now. So you know there's 1 crop here and you know there's like 2 other crops over here. Which are behind a combat encounter, which is not too hard, not too bad, like might take a bit of life, like lifetime. But you could go there and get them. So you kind of see that there's like time, you don't need time, so you don't have to bother really. Now you take a look at the minimap and you make a decision. Kinda. So you are here, you see, you know there's a coin stash and Bernstein. Well, in this case it's no brainer because there's the same. Oh, it isn't. There's a power and Bernstein and the coin stash at the greenhouse. On the other hand, there is a modifier and coins. So like the difference is power or modifier. Because I already have 2 powers. I might go for the modifier. And then I get another modifier and say and then continue onwards. I mean the only decision here really is do I go left, do I go right? The question is this enough decision making for creating a build? How do I test this? I guess I will have to simulate a I will have to simulate a minimap somehow. It is kind of similar to the Slay the Spire map, which we have somewhere, I think. No, I never posted a picture of the Slay the Spire map. Shame. Well, then let's look for it now. I've been playing a lot of Slay the Spire recently. On mobile. Curious to see what Slay the Spire 2 will do. And there's also a very interesting article or like description of how Slay the Spire does their map. I think it's just on a wiki. The Slay the Spire wiki. But yeah, basically your decision making happens at the beginning and then at some certain points and you're kinda locked into your decisions. But like the decisions aren't that major because like the interesting decisions are what cards you are putting into your deck. Anyways, so those are the most noteworthy decisions. So maybe it's fine with that. Because you have some control over what you're getting. Then the rest is happening by powers and modifiers. I guess most interesting is if you... Most interesting decisions are, I have a lot of money, I want to get a shop. Or like the most direct connections of how decision process works. If I have a lot of money, I want a shop. I'm running out of health, I like to focus on time pickups. Or I have a lot of bernstein, I need a crafting station for stuff to like upgrade my powers or combine them or get new ones. I think those are the most relevant. And then the rest is, I guess, connected to side quests that you have triggered. Or what we could also put there. Can I just look for character? Help, yeah. What we also could put there is like certain quest related items or characters that don't appear every time, which are also there and could kinda influence what you choose, I guess. Hmm. Let's look at our current map. Because we do have, technically speaking, we do have a mini-map in the editor. It's not very pretty. I mean, it doesn't have a visual component to it. Yeah, so it looks like this, and Oh, I can't even scroll. I can't even see the whole map. But you do technically see how the transitions are. So entry is connected to this encounter, which is then connected to reward 0, which is connected to these two encounters, which lead to, yeah, to 2. So it always leads back to the same location. And I guess technically we could just add more information there about rewards. But like thinking back, how many combat encounters do we need between each? I guess the easiest we could do is 1 or 2. I'm also wondering if we should actually have those things fixated. Or not. Because if we want to do a simulation of what's more or less happening in the... We will definitely need a separate map. But like, what is happening? Right, yeah, I'll use the smaller ones. Makes it a bit easier. So there should be one combat encounter between entry and first reward. Then you'll definitely have an encounter here and in there. So I guess we'll do like 2 in between. And then 1 more here. I don't really know what will be happening in the greenhouse. So I guess we would. Oh. Guess we could do it something like that. Let's leave money out of this. I guess the only way to really test this is actually building a map and then having some kind of entity, like some kind of system, overarching system that's taking care of which location gets which kind of reward, so you can look that up. Because right now, I mean, there is a harvest system, is, yeah, because right now the crops request a resource type from the world. Then we have a harvest map, and then it kind of distributes it randomly. Mm. Which only works when the crop are kind of lazy in deciding what resource they give. Mm. They only decide what the reward will be when you actually enter the location. Which doesn't work for our mini-map setup because we need to know that when the map gets built. So really, I guess what we should do is assign indices to the crops. And the harvest system kind of needs to know how many crops are unlocked in the area. So I guess that needs to be stored somewhere as well. Probably also just in the harvest system. This is making things a lot more complicated than it probably needs to be. Because in that case, um, yeah, the harvest system needs to know crops are which crop indices are unlocked, and I guess on map spawn distribute them randomly from the available. And then the minimap kinda talks to the harvest system. The minimap knows which icon belongs to which index and sets that accordingly. This is making a lot of sense in my brain right now. Okay. We want this change to be non-destructive, ideally. What happening? Sorry. Starting to get a bit tired. So I probably won't be streaming for long anymore. Like until 5 or something. Generally the plan is to be more active on streams. Like we won't have a schedule, but I'll be streaming whenever like I'm working on things. Like this. It's probably mostly going to be this endless mode kind of thing for the next few weeks. But like goal for now until 5 is to figure out which classes we need to touch so we can set this up properly. Or like do some preparation for it. Because I do kind of feel like we can copy most of this, but also not really. This is going to be a bit more complicated because we have to actually remodel the map with all of the connections. Also, probably it pays off having a connection to the graveyard there. So probably can, no, we can't copy this, but do a combat testing and create a map area. Or actually it's a meta testing. I guess let's call it meta. And we'll also need a preset. And then we'll need a location. I'm not doing this right now, but like a location for each of our main locations, and then an empty location for each of the transitions here. And for that, I guess we'll just copy we have from the combat testing. Guess from the transitions we can actually just use the endless. The leaves we could also just copy from the transitions. So the harvest system needs to initialize word gets created. Assign rewards to unlocked crops. But we do. Okay, currently we are not communicating with any kind of system for that. Because we can just make this more stable overall then. What? Harvest system register blooming crop. So we are actually registering them anyways. Data, word data. So we already have data like this. But this thing is reading its own data. Okay, it's a bit messed up. Anyways, 'cause this is registering to the harvest system. But then the harvest system is teacher variable. Then the harvest system is also storing the same data as the seedling. Okay, we have to refactor this anyways. Because we have like a separate. We're just storing the amount, the total amount. I guess what we want to move towards is giving each crop a unique ID. Then storing that. Nothing that can go wrong with that, right? Then are those things used for anything? I guess you can tell that I haven't touched this system in forever. So it is basically like I'm reading code that someone else wrote. But it's not that long ago, like July 24. It's not even a year ago. Most of this. Well, so we want to handle serialization of blooming crops with this as single source of truth. Yeah, and then we can just map the... Then we can do like our logic of unlock, because we have our reward distribution that's kinda in what order they get unlocked. Like if you have only 2 crops available, you also kind of need to differentiate between... now things are getting dicey. You also have to differentiate between crops that are technically blooming, but in a location that you haven't visited yet, so they don't count for the minimap as well. Starting to get a feeling that we should move like tracking what locations and crops you have available to a separate system that the minimap can also interact with. Or we just do both with the harvest system, I guess. Doesn't really make a lot of difference. Like when you first enter a location, it gets registered as... But the crops kinda need to... The harvest system gets initialized when you start a run, and it knows which locations and crops you currently have available, and does the distribution based on that. And then when you enter a new location, the crops there, like if you enter a location that you already have entered. Visual example, feast garden. And you go in there, no problem. The crop talks with the harvest system. It's already in there. It gets a definition. It can set itself up. Easy peasy. But then you go to a new location that you haven't entered yet. So I guess feast shed. And feast shed has a crop that wants to initialize, but the location isn't set yet. I guess we can just do this as a lazy initialization. So when the crop requests but the world key isn't set as explored, it kinda just adds the new crop. Just adds the new crop to the available. Something like this. So we have all of them in here. Guess what we really need in here is this. But what we need in addition is a string with... No, but not... Because that's a public data. I don't want public data. Word key. I don't think I need to have public world data anyway. I just be private, and then you have like an additional string with like bool with is explored. No, wait, but this is word key. So we need a string. So this is the whole word. So we need a collection with, like, I guess, a list. Can we put a list in here? Explored locations. IDs. And then or should we just do a map? Because we also need like we need to store the crops that are blooming. They kinda belong to a location, so we could store them together as like a map. But I'm not sure if that's good. So it would be, and then we shouldn't put that in a struct. Anyways, it's all a bit weird right now. Then we have a string map, string array map. Location crops map, I guess, would be it. I guess if it's not in there, it's not explored. And we also have all the crops in there. And now we can get the total count by just adding all of the length. I feel like I'm over engineering this. Okay, time for a break. Let's see what's happening on Board Game Geek. I don't need a exploding kittens gift card. Have you ever felt anxiety, nervousness, hesitation just prior to starting a new game for the first time in a video game? Not really, I think. Did I felt anxious starting a game? I don't really. I mean, I have like a strong. How do you say? I'm not anxious. I just like starting new things is like really exhausting. So I'm just generally not starting new things or like new games because the amount of brain power you have to put into getting and learning into a new thing. I don't have that most of the times right now. So I'm kind of just sticking with games I already play, like Slay the Spire mostly right now. Yeah, not a lot going on the Geek. So I guess what we need to do is connect this to save data. What does the harvest map do? Oh, initialize word. Okay, I was forgetting that. Initialize word is also to do set up crop distribution. I mean, I guess that is what it's doing anyway, because it's looking at the crop count and then choosing rewards to put in the available slots. And what we should do instead is already connect them with the crop IDs. I guess what you really want is I don't want to put another dictionary in a dictionary, but what we really want is for each location, each area, no, for each word, I have a list of location crops which are connected to a reward already. It's like a tuple, really. Don't think it's efficient searching for a tuple key in a list. So we could just do it in a dictionary. That seems wrong. Does it? But it, and also we need to serialize it somehow. Because we'll be serializing it as two, like multiple arrays, I guess. Hmm. Alright, I won't be getting this done today anymore. But that's the goal for now, setting up, refactoring the harvest system, so we can handle the reward initialization from a centralized system. We can have the crops talk to a centralized system about their current state, so they don't have to store it themselves anymore. And we can have like a mini map talk to a centralized system. Like you can read which locations are explored and which crops are there with which rewards. In theory, it doesn't sound too hard. I don't think it is too hard, like if I go at it with a clear mind. Maybe tomorrow. But I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, we're back. We're streaming again. Like once or twice a week, I guess, whenever I'm working on things and like I have enough brain power to talk as well. I'll be doing those. So keep an eye out. We do have a demo, playable demo on Steam. Check that out. Join our Discord if you have any questions or input or things. And other than that, keep on creating. See you soon. Bye bye. Now I just have to find OBS again so I can actually close the stream. Ha, found it.